Welcome everyone to another Sunday night live report. It's good to be with you guys again. Smokey, how have you been? Smiley, how's the weekend been treating you guys? Let's catch up. It's been a very, very quiet weekend in the market, I think.
Quiet?
Yeah.
Yes, it's going well.
Bitcoin has been treating us very, very, very good and bad.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow morning, but I can't really say this. Apart from obviously Friday night and Saturday's pump, there's not much happening because it's been running a bit sideways in accumulation, so it's been interesting.
Well, look, I think let's before we actually get into the report and the discussions tonight, I think let's quickly have a chat about the TradeAcade University. As it's live, guys, and I think you should really start to have a look on how you can change your trading and your hodling game. This will pretty much teach you everything that we know, how we trade, how we look at the market, and we're only going to be growing and adding more content as we're obviously learning and growing as well. So you can head over to www.tradeacade.com and you'll be able to get to the website, have a look at some of the courses that we're going to bring out, as well as the reasons why we believe this is the ultimate university for you. And along with completing the university, you also get access to the Acade trading floor, where you'll be able to chat with us, trade with traders like yourselves, and be able to see how you can take advantage of the market. But I think I'd rather give it over to Smokes to kind of speak about the course that he's actually made. So Smokey, tell us a bit more about the course, and I think to dive into that, to show us a bit more, what is the difference between the courses and how it's going to be scaling and taking the users and investors to where they need to go.
Oh, cool, man. That's great. So a couple of things that's quite important is we've just recently created and launched on Monday. So you can see with the homepage, with the About Us, some of the advantages and key highlights for the course that you'll be doing for us. Also the various courses that we have on offer. I just want to point out, you'll see that the masterclass and the advanced masterclass, as well as the Moonacade investing course is all pre-order. They are available. You won't see the courses displaying just yet because we haven't actually released those models to the public, but looking at the complete course on mastering market structure, that is our foundation class, that is actually available. Now, if you want to obviously purchase it, you can simply just scroll down on the homepage and click on it, or go to the pricing options. If you want to get some more clarity and description on each of the courses, there's a nice little breakdown for you of what is to be expected, as well as the frequently asked questions that you'll typically have. Is this course for you? How long does it take? How soon can you start? And all those relevant questions. So you can have a look at the frequently asked question page. Then also looking at the all courses tab, which again shows you all the courses, and you can then scroll through them and look at which course you want to do. I'm already logged in, so I'm going to go to the dashboard where you'll find the courses that you've got currently that you've purchased or that you are busy with. Now, one thing to note is that the complete course on mastering market structure, this will show you the percentage of how far you've completed this course, as well as any other courses that you are busy with. Now, keeping in mind the way we've structured the university's curriculum is a step-by-step basis. So what does that mean? That means that with our foundation class, which is the complete mastering of the market structure course, you'll see in the overview, when you select the overview tab at the bottom, this will take you then to that page that will give you the curriculum breakdown of what's to be expected in this course. This takes you to that page and you will see the course curriculum breakdown. Now, the first module is released as soon as you enroll in the course, and you'll have access to that. You'll also note that each module only gets released after a week of doing the first module. So once you've done the Welcome to TradeAcade University module, a week after that, once you've enrolled, you will then move on to the Let's Go and Get Started with Essentials. Now in the course, you'll see various topics that we discuss. Like with the welcome video, we have the welcome section, just introducing the whole course and why and how we've done it. Then we go into the why. Now the why goes deep dives into why are we trading, or why are we looking at trading, and what do we need to consider when we actually start trading. So the various concepts and stuff that we discuss. We also look at what kind of trader do you want to be, in this case what kind of trader I want to be, and that talks about key topics like your swing trading or position trading, your day trading versus your scalping or intraday trading, and those type of topics to give you a better understanding to see where do you fit into the market. Also, what you'll see is the psychology of trading. Now, this is quite a lengthy video, but it's quite crucial for us to understand before we start trading, what is the psychology, the frame of mind that we go into before we start trading. You know, it's important that you prep and you start building discipline around your daily routine in order to get to the optimal performance when you are starting to trade. So this is looking into all those factors and how that affects our trading. The Let's Go and Get Started gives you a rundown of the key things that we use in the TradingView charting software that we use for our analysis and markups on our charts. We also discuss in length how to risk manage, how to understand how do you know when you are profitable and what you actually need in order to become consistently profitable. Now we break these topics down in each category, and then we also give you, in this module, we start giving you assignments. So each module will typically have an assignment that you need to do, and that shows us where you are in terms of the knowledge that you've acquired in this module, to make sure that you get the most out of this course, and that we can make sure that we are there to help guide you to becoming a profitable and consistent trader. So this is a crucial part. It might not seem so nice to be doing homework, but it's super crucial for your development as a new trader, or even as an experienced trader. A lot of us that started out trading and went on the journey, you know, had certain tweaks that we needed to make within our routine or within our trading plan. And these are all healthy steps to making proper adjustments to your trading plan, to your strategy, and getting you on the right track to becoming consistently profitable. Now, we'll also see some of the other categories, your market structure, where we break down the different structures, key market formations, and we talk about the candlestick patterns, how they form, and how do you read pure price action, which is a little bit more advanced in some cases, but I feel it's really crucial that we discuss these topics the right way so that you understand and not get fixated about the name of the candlestick patterns, because there's quite a few, but just understanding the psychology and how the candlesticks form on the various time frames and what that actually tells you in the market. Because remember, as traders, we are looking at staying objective in the market. So we want to react to what the market is showing us and not on what we think. And this is a crucial part in the development stages of trading to get to the right foundation and the right level to become a consistently profitable trader. We also discussed how to use multiple time frames, because it's quite crucial to understand how the higher time frame premise fits into the lower time frames, and how all time frames are fractal and how they fit and interlink into each other. So that's quite crucial. We'll also see trade entries. So we give you a couple of strategies that you could use. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but there is some strategies that you can actually use in the real life and start practicing and trading. And then we have the putting it all together, where we go through how you combine all the knowledge that you've learned in this course and putting it into practice and start building on that. From here, you'll get, once you've completed the whole course and all the assignments, you get a certification of completion, and that gives you access to our virtual trading floor, where you can then get involved in our trading community with like-minded traders, so that you can start learning, you know, on the job on hand in real life scenarios, doing markups and sitting with other traders that, you know, each other, we help each other to grow and develop the skills that we've learned in this course. And then we progress onto the masterclass course, and then as well as the advanced masterclass, which goes into more depth in understanding order flow, understanding supply and demand, understanding how big institutions create liquidity in the market and how the market actually functions compared to what we get taught from a traditional retail trading perspective, where we use all these indicators like EMAs and stuff, which we don't use. In the course, we do not teach any indicators because we believe that the market tells you everything you need to know. But if you are using an indicator in your strategy, make sure that it has a clear objective and it fits your trading plan to give and add value. If it's not adding value and it doesn't give you clarity or help you identify key entries or certain aspects in the market, then we don't see the need for using that indicator. And that's it from the course perspective, just to give you guys a brief rundown on that. Tony, Smiley, is there anything you guys would like to add?
No, I think that's pretty much it. It's to give the people an opportunity to see, you know, we've learned some things. We've obviously saw what works for us and what didn't work, and it's to give back to the people and say, you know, we want to trade with people like-minded like us, and this is to give people the opportunity to also show them the tricks we've had up our sleeves and how we've been trading, and I'm sure enough Smile's also gonna be able to add to that too.
I think also the important thing is, you know, when it comes to training and learning how to trade, the key thing is that it should not be that we enforce our trading strategies, our own trading strategies on one another. The key thing is you're going to learn concepts that you're going to use and build your own strategy, that you can, you know, fine tune the way you see the market, because everyone sees the market a little bit different. You might, you know, I mean, when we've traded, like you'll be short on the market and I'll be bullish on the market. And you'll take a short and I'll take a long, and we both make money on the end of the day. But that doesn't mean that you were right and I was wrong, or I was wrong and you were right type of scenario, you know. It's just purely because we see the market differently and we saw different opportunities and our trading styles differ. But that's just what makes us beautiful, is once you understand and grasp the concepts. And that's why with this university, we've taken a structured approach, because you know, how many times has it happened that you've bought a course, you skip down to the very last bit and you're just looking for that entries because you're struggling with entries, or you're just looking for how to identify, you know, liquidity in the market or manipulation or whatever, and you just skip to that, but you haven't taken the time. You've now spent the money on the course, but you haven't taken the time to fully understand what it is that particular, you know, instructor or mentor has offered to teach you, and you don't take that time to really grasp it and make sure that you understand the information, you make it your own, so that you can be better as a trader. And a lot of people miss this vital part, and I mean, I was guilty of that myself. So try and be obviously open-minded, look at the content, try and understand the content. If you don't understand it, you know, that's where the trade, you know, the virtual trading floor is so crucial, because that's where you get to ask and get different opinions, not to try and get validation from another person, but just to make sure that you understand and grasp of how the little tricks of the trade fits into each other, because that's quite crucial, and that's where the real learning, you know, works. When you're putting in the time, you're making the effort, and you're sitting and trying to work out and master the market as it is in front of you.
So I think let's kick off and actually take a look at the news. I think the most interesting thing I want to talk about is the Bitcoin for Truckers campaign that actually kicked, you know, that happened, the whole incident. I don't know if you guys are fully aware of it, but just to quickly sum it up. So these Canadian truckers that's been wanting to kind of, obviously there's a lot of campaigns around the world always trying to, you know, incentivize something or ask government to do something. And this is exactly what these guys did. They went to GoFundMe trying to open up a campaign, and they actually got a lot of funding very quickly. The problem is, as they started getting funding, the GoFundMe obviously had to obey to government rules, and they literally froze that $9 million in funding, literally froze it. So they couldn't actually even do the initiative. What they then did is actually started going to the crypto space to see what can crypto do, and they actually went to Tallycoin. So Tallycoin is one of the first, it seems like, GoFundMe alternatives in the crypto space. And I think it's very interesting that there's now real use case scenarios where people are saying, look, we've tried the legal options, we've tried GoFundMe, we've tried government, this doesn't work. we're just going to have to turn to crypto. So more and more, there's situations where we can see real life scenarios being quite a situation, and crypto being the solution. And I think this is an extremely good thing. These are the kind of situations we want to see. These are the kind of things we want to see, where government and these kind of things, and big corporations are not assisting the ecosystem or the actual problems. And people can then go and say, hey, I'm going to take control of this and I'm going to solve this myself. And there's enough people and enough, open source companions to make this work. So I'm quite curious to see where this can go, in terms of, not specifically Tallycoin, but I think the whole initiative of people being able to fund themselves. Open source projects or coins starting to specifically fund certain initiatives, that's a real world problem right now, because it seems like, yes, we have to abide by certain rules and regulations, but as a funding campaign, and I think as a non-profit organization campaign, there's probably a lot that you can still do in the crypto space. That's quite exciting. But I think with that being said, so let's have a look at the charts. What do you have to show to us? How's the coins looking in the market?
So definitely, I mean, that's been interesting. I saw that article as well about the truckers. So yeah, I mean, there's so much opportunity in the digital space that brings faster scaling solutions. The other thing that I also saw a lot was these hacks that's been happening as well. Like on the Ethereum blockchain, I believe there was another hack now for 320 million, which they recuperated a lot of the funds. I can't remember if it was on the Polygon. It wasn't on Polygon, but it was on one of the projects on the Ethereum blockchain, which was quite massive as well. So cybersecurity, definitely they're busy working on that security. So it's interesting to see how they evolve from there.
Look, I think the biggest problem when it comes to hacks right now is Solana, and we did write it in the report. Solana has been very spoken highly of as, this Ethereum killer, and we have seen it taking a rise. But the biggest concern, and we've seen people point this out months ago already, where they said, Solana is great and all, but it won't survive if it keeps on getting these attacks. And I think as the coin is growing and getting more exposure, it's also becoming a public enemy to get hacked. So I think it's taking a lot of knocks, not only in terms of actual liquidity, but it's also taking knock from a reputation. So it again shows, I don't expect these pioneer coins to be around forever. Some of these coins are purely there to pioneer, and they might fall away. Bitcoin was the first ever crypto. Will it be the forever crypto? Probably not, but that's, there's certain coins that do come in to create innovation, and they might fall away. So it's a shame to see that something as innovative as Solana getting these attacks and getting, for people not actually helping, but actually taking advantage of it. So it's a shame to see that it's going to probably happen. It's how innovation goes. But I think it's crucial for people to understand that these kind of things do happen. It's not necessarily going to affect your funds within the ecosystem itself, but it does affect the coin. It does affect the growth of crypto.
Well, it's part of the evolution. But anyhow, let's see while they work on their evolution and refining their securities. Let's look at where we see opportunities in the market and what is happening. Now, looking at Bitcoin as our lead indicator for the crypto market, right? We'll just move on to the daily chart here, so we can see a little bit better. Now, one thing that we spoke about on Friday and that we've noticed is that we are not quite fully out of the woods just yet. Sorry for that skew line. But we need to see how price is going to react to this $43,500 level that we've spoken about numerous times over the last couple of weeks, and the line goes skew again. But what we need to see is in this coming week, if price can actually go and break above this 43.5, making a new high-low formation before seeing a continuation to the upside. Now that's something that we are going to be looking out for. But I'm also still expecting that while we trade within this range, the line gets better, that we could still see a potential move to the downside. We need to see from a sort of market structure perspective that we break structure. Now, the current structure, as we can see, that came down, formed these lower lows and lower highs. Now, this current price action has not formed a new higher high yet because it has not broken this previous major lower high. Now, this is what we are looking for when we talk about the $43,500 level. Now, that point is a little bit higher, yes, $44,500, but we want to see the 43,500 level as a key level for price to break above to see a form of a bullish continuation. Now, when we see this massive push up, we can always expect a reversal. Now, a lot of people would have seen this massive spike and they would have FOMO'd in and panicked and just bought, and now price is sort of hanging in the balance. Now, you never want to buy when the coin is spiking. You want to wait for a retracement so that you can buy in lower and sell higher. So that's always important that we see. So this week is going to be crucial for us because that will identify if we are going up or if we are going down. If we look at the current price action, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So we can see the last 7 candles has been a bit of have been pushing up a little bit, and so has the rest of the candles from the previous 7 days. But that doesn't mean we are overall bullish. Until we've broken above this key sort of range here, I'm not going to get too excited just yet. I'm going to take a conservative approach and wait this out and see, because we've seen plenty times in the past where price has gone and it forms these, where did I see it now? It was on one of the other coins that I looked at. Let me just see it quickly. I was looking at one of the coins earlier today and I thought it was a really nice explanation. Let me just see if I can find it quickly. What is this? Other. So if you look at other as an example, right, and this is to give you a bit of indication of what could potentially happen. Now, if we look at the structure, price came down, made a new lower high, came up, made a new lower high, made a new lower low, made a new sort of higher high based off of this previous high that it took out, but then it came down violently and made a new lower low. So what we can see is as price comes down, it had the spike, came down and reversed maybe at a key level, and then pushed up where people thought, hey, we're going up. And then what happens is it fakes out, and this is the bull trap scenario that Smile spoke about on Friday evening, where you see this push up, and then all of a sudden you just see a sharp decline and price go the opposite direction. So this is the type of move that we want to identify when there's been a sort of strong downwards momentum with then a slight sort of ease or relief, and then price comes down. And this is sort of a typical grab of momentum, grab of liquidity as such, and then a push down, indicating that there's a continuation, and then we see this V-shaped sharp recovery, and then just grabbing some unfulfilled orders and pushing price to the down. So this is what I'm typically looking at that could potentially happen this week. It's not to say that it will happen, but this is a possibility because we are at a crucial sort of level and range when it comes to Bitcoin. We haven't seen a clear continuation to the upside with a new high and low formation, whether this high and low sits here or there or there or there. That's depending on what price does when it forms this new high and low formation. But until we see this and then that pullback, I'm not going to be bullish just yet, because this could just be a fake out. It could simply just tap above this 43.5 and then come down. Remember, in the last couple of weeks, if you look at the webinars and you look back over December, these type of moves, we've seen it over and over again. If price does not break above a key level that we have mentioned, you'll see that I'd almost say 90% of the time we have been right so far. I'm not saying we're going to be right again, because there is always a probability that it can be right, can be wrong. So just bear that in mind. But if there's a candle break above this level, that's going to be a stronger confirmation that we are definitely forming that bullish order flow, and that we are going to see a potential move to the upside. Now, I've spoken too much. Smiles, give me your input. What are you saying in terms of this whole move? What are you waiting? Has your perception or your view changed in the market yet? Or what are you looking at? Wow.
Yeah, thanks, thanks, Moki. Actually, all right. This afternoon, actually, I was looking. I think since yesterday, Bitcoin has been raging already. Means ladder use consolidating all around in the same entry and exit. So, like we said previously on our last call, we had that we would react to the market. We would wait to see what the market has to offer us actually. So since then I've been reacting, checking what price has been doing, and nothing so tangible I can really lay my hands on. Yeah. So quite this afternoon, if I'm not wrong, we had a spike up. Yeah, which is what I'm even expecting, because once we're having a bit of consolidation, it's either buyers and sellers are struggling. So we need to see who will actually take control. And you can see buyers tries their possible best to push out the market. That is when we had a long spike, a long candle spike that took out shorters. And again, we have another candle that take out a lot of sellers. Are you getting me? So currently right now, what I would say, checking the 15 minutes time frame, and according to what Smokey have said, I think right now, if you should check your chart on the 15 minutes time frame, you could see that price took out all the liquidity at the support zone, because we have a kind of minor support at the region. Let me point that region out. I think at the region of that is about 41,324. We have a kind of minor support there, which we had this candle week that took out the support. And after taking out the support, we have this move to the upside. Yeah. So right now, what I'm expecting price to do is possibly come down and mitigate some orders left at the candle wick, because that candle was one that took out the support. So I'm expecting price to come down to the candle wick, then possibly we try to retain the higher prices. We've been trying, Bitcoin has been trying to create, because if we should really say we want Bitcoin to still come down, that means it will rather invalidate another buy setups, because a lot of buyers are trying to get into the market, and we can see some kind of we can see the result from how they push markets from, I think, from the region of that is around 41,109. Yeah, the price was pushed from there to exactly the range of 41,704. That is indeed a great move. So I'm expecting price to return back to that week, because a lot of unmitigated unfulfilled orders are lying there. So price to come down, fill in the order, then we have will possibly reclaim higher prices.
Well, that's definitely a very interesting concept there, as we can see, and as you nicely pointed out. We've taken out, obviously, key liquidity at these levels. There's no clear indication of where it's going just yet. All we know is there is a move that's happening, and we do not necessarily want to be caught on either side of this trade just yet until we've seen a clear move to the upside or the downside, to wait for the trades to go. So yeah, that's it from our side. Stoney, is there anything you wanted to add? Because I think, from this outlook, we are going to just wait and see what tomorrow brings on the Monday, to see if there's going to be a clear move to the upside or the downside. But at the moment, it doesn't look like either way. All we can see is there's definitely accumulation. We cannot see necessarily a distribution model or accumulation model, although we can see that there is a bit of accumulation of orders, but we cannot determine just yet whether this is going up or down. I'm personally, looking for a move to the downside by tomorrow morning, but we'll have to wait and see what the market does to see if we can get any optimal, entries on this, current situation with Bitcoin, and that will obviously affect our entries on our altcoins for this coming week's setups.
I think the biggest thing I'm looking for is looking at the news. We're still expecting something to go down, so I'm expecting the move up, like you said, to possibly trigger that bull trap. I think from looking at the news, reading in between the lines, looking at what are the people in comments are saying, that it seems to be a bull trap is on the rise. So just to be careful. I'm expecting price to go up. I don't expect it to go over the top. It's definitely to make a trick before coming down. I think from a news point of view, I'm also still going to stick to Stoney's bearish movement right now.
Oh man, yeah, I think let's wait and see. But also we know that if there's going to be a sharp push up to the upside, like a wick formation, then we know on the higher time frames that this, sweep will indicate a move to the downside. So let's watch out for that and see where this goes, and then take it from there.
Awesome. Happy.
Perfect. Okay, well, let's call it an evening, and let's catch up tomorrow morning and see where we are with the markets and see if we can see any clarity on that.
I think sleep tight, guys. It's going to be something might happen overnight. We usually see something happen overnight. So I think just be careful on the markets out there. New day tomorrow, new week. Let's see what happens.
Let's see if there's extra volatility as well with the likes of the increase in the sort of, markets with the, increase in sort of wages as well as increase in job opportunities in the US. It might create some extra volatility for this coming week.
So let's wait and see. But other than that, I think guys enjoy the evening. Chat soon.
Cheers, guys. Keep on.